people who listened to the Prophet ﷺ, they believed in him because they could verify. They have minds on their own. They were not thinking with someone else's ideas. They were not borrowing somebody else's thoughts. They were going by what they have, what they see, and they followed the Prophet ﷺ. So Quraysh was disappointed with the media war. They turned now to the economic war. Harb iqtisadiyya. Economic war, what do? They put an embargo. Anyone who believes with Muhammad ﷺ, you have economic embargo. We will fight you with your job. We will fight you with the bread that you give your children. We will fight you. Quraysh fought the Sahaba radiallahu anhum at the beginning with even the piece of bread that they were feeding their children. If you you believe, we will fight you with this piece of bread. We will not allow you to give bread to your children. They put an economic embargo at the end, where they put anyone who had to do with the Prophet ﷺ for months and months in Shi'b Abi Talib, and it ended. This economic embargo ended with the death and passing away of two very important figures to the Prophet ﷺ, Khadija radhiyallahu anha wa Abu Talib. Still, the economic war did not sort of succeed to totally eliminate the da'wah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Of course, it hurt the da'wah in some people's minds whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not guide. But it did not help to eliminate totally what they want. They want to eliminate the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his da'wah totally. But the third thing they did is the third kind of war, which is the actual war and blood. And they did. They persecuted the Sahaba. They killed them. They brought, as you all know, Al Yasir, Al Yasir, this family. They were originally from Africa, very dark people, thin. Subhanallah, but they are filled with iman to their bones. Their iman is just shining. The first shaheed, the first martyrs of Islam, he brings them, the people of Quraysh, they bring them on the simple thing. Do you believe in Muhammad? Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Nah, yes we do. They put Sumayya, radwanullahi ta'ala alayha, the wife of the family of Al Yasir. They put her and they took the spear and they put it right in her private parts, killing her, shattering her to pieces. For the simple thing, what? Idea. It's the principle of idea. Peace. They went also to the father of Ammar bin Yasir, radwanullahi alayh, and also killed him. And they start persecuting every single one who believed with the Prophet ﷺ and went with the Prophet ﷺ and also wanted to kill the Prophet ﷺ himself many times, as you know. This war, this kind of vicious war, still did not help them in eliminating entirely the da'wah of Rasulullah ﷺ. So what they did then, they gathered all these things together. A media war, going to all these munafiqeen and tell them, or these kuffar, or these people who have no brains, to think on their own, and telling them, this is what Muhammad says, this is what Muhammad says, this is what Muhammad says, right? Sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. And then they combined the media, they combined the economic war, and they combined the literal body war and blood and swords, all together. And they started now trying to take another method of appearing very intellectual. Well, they appear very intellectual. They go and say, well, he's not a prophet. We like him as a human being. He's great. We have no problem with him. But he's not a prophet. He's only a good poet that speaks good words, and eventually he will die. وَمَا نَتَرَبَّصُ بِهِ إِلَّا رَيْبَ الْمَنُونَ, as Al-Qurtubi rahimahullah mentions, which means the people of Quraysh, they're saying to them each other, after everything failed, it's a sort of a sign of desperation. So what did they say? They said, well, he's just a poet and we're waiting for him to die. Just like the poet of such and such tribe died, he will also die and we'll forget about him. And then we will rest, we will be comfortable. Basically, we're waiting for Muhammad to die so we can be comfortable. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Nabi al-A'zam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam hears these things. Gets affected sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. يتأثر بأبيه وأمه. Why? A man who's in total ignorance. A man in total poverty, intellectually and materialistically. One who is dedicating his life to bring him out of the darkness to the light, out of ignorance to knowledge, out of poverty to richness. Yet they still wanted him dead. Subhanallah. الإنسان عدو ما يكره. The human being is always an enemy of what they don't know. Ignorant is an enemy. That's the biggest crime one can do to themselves is become ignorant. And that's why the most expensive thing and the most important thing is education, knowledge, al-ilm. Therefore, Al-Quran, the first thing came with, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Iqra. Read. Read before you talk. Learn before you talk. But subhanallah, people don't want to do it the Quranic way. They want to do it their own ways. What Al-Quran stresses on knowledge. Therefore, no matter what it is, attain knowledge. Knowledge is the most important. This is something on which Islam is based. You think knowledge is expensive? Try ignorance. It's more expensive. And Nabi al-Azam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gets affected. His heart sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is a mountain of patience. But it's sort of saddening. Very sad. That I'm trying to give him guidance, I'm trying to help them, I'm trying to do this, and they say that we want him dead so we can rest, so we can be comfortable. We're just waiting for him to die. Not that he is saddened about himself, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He's saddened about their state of thinking, their low state of thinking, their low state of intellectual thought process. That's what he was sad about. As if the ayah, the first ayah came, وَمَا جَعَلْنَا لِبَشَرٍ مِّن قَبْلِكَ الْخُلْدِ أَفَإِن مِتَّ فَهُمُ الْخَالِدُونَ. As if Allah is telling him, He's comforting the Prophet ﷺ. He's comforting the heart of the beloved salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi wa alayhi, to tell him, these people have وَمَا جَعَلْنَا لِبَشَرٍ مِّن قَبْلِكَ الْخُلْدِ. First of all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, which means no one, we have decreed to no one to live on this life everlastingly. Everyone will die. And then number two, if the ayah says, أَفَإِن مِتَّ فَهُمُ الْخَالِدُونَ, if they're thinking they want you to die, are they going to stay behind you? They're going to live everlastingly on this earth? If you die, are they going to live everlastingly? And then as if the ayah is telling them, who was before you that lived everlastingly anyway? No one before you lived everlastingly on this earth. As if the ayah is telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed death on all human beings. Everything that was created. As if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us in this ayah, everybody that is created, everybody will die. Every creation will die. Everything that's born dies. As if the ayah is leading towards this way and comforting the heart of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Because it seems like death is something that everyone's going to taste. Allah mentions in the Quran, كُلُّ مَنْ عَلَيْهَا فَانٍ. Everything that's on earth, all this creation will perish. وَيَبْقَى وَجْهُ رَبِّكَ ذُو الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remains. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, number one, if they're trying to be happy, wishing for your death, they're also going to die. They're not going to stay behind. Number two, if they're happy for wishing you death, then no one has lasted before you anyway. But it's not something that there are any exceptions in. Everyone's going to die. There's a story of this man. He said, I went to the graves, to visit the graves. And it's sunnah to go visit the graves. Yeah. He said, I saw a man standing in front of a grave and crying very bitterly. يَبْكِي بِحَرَارَ مَرَارَ. Crying. He said, I felt very sorry for him. I came close to him. I said, Ya Abdullah, oh slave of Allah, why are you crying? Is this your father? This is your mother just passed away? Something up? He said, why are you crying? I said, no, I'm not crying. It's not my father. He said, oh, is this your mother? He said, no, it's not my mother. Is it your close friend, your son, your daughter, your wife? He said, no, it's not. It's my enemy. Why are you your enemy? Someone you hated? Why are you crying on him? He says, I'm not crying on him. I'm crying about myself. He said, I'm crying about myself. Because when I came to seek, as I came to be happy, you know how some people, they love for you to be in problems, or they love for you to even die. So, hatred takes some people that wish death on others, or they wish harm on others. He said, this is the case in my heart. I wished harm on him. I wished to see him dead. So I came just to fill my eyes with his gravesite, seeing that he is dead. And then I saw on his grave something written. وَمَا أَنْتُمْ إِلَّا مِثْلَنَا غَيْرَ أَنَّكُمْ أَقَمْتُمْ قَلِيلًا ثُمَّ تَرْحَلُوا. Which means, I read this on his grave, it says, you are just like us. You who are alive are just like us who have passed away. Except that you are only staying a little bit behind us and then you're following us. You're staying only a little bit. He said, so I care about myself. I'm wasting all this energy. Rather than to worry about myself. Abu Yahya Malik bin Dinar narrated, and there's a narration attributed to him, that he went into the graveyard. In the graveyard, you have all kinds of people buried from different social levels, different economic levels. Now, even they want to separate graveyards. For the rich people, they want to have a nicer graveyard. Nice is nothing with the grass. Nice is with the iman. He said, and he went into this graveyard, and he said these two lines of poetry. He said, أتيت القبور فناديتها فأين المعظم والمحتقر وأين المذل بسلطانه وأين العزيز إذا ما افتخر. I came to the graves, the meaning of the poetry. I came to the graves and I asked them, أين المعظم? Who was glorified among you when they were alive? And who was the one that was weak and insignificant in their society? Who was the one who was powerful and rich? And who was the one that was weak and poor? Who was among you the one that could say and do and hurt others? And the one that couldn't? Who is the one that was a bit larger than life, big shot? Many things. The hands of people are inside of the lives of people are in his hands. And Shaykh talks about this man, belittles this man, spends his life about other people, never focus internally. Who is among you is this distinguished? Where is the general? Where is the lieutenant? And where is the where are the differences? Let me see. Because some people, subhanallah, they think this is something. You know what happened to Al-Qadi Shaykh? Al-Qadi Shaykh was among the judges that lived. And Sayyidina Uthman radiallahu anhu appointed him, and also Sayyidina Ali. I think he was also appointed by Sayyidina Umar towards the last period of Sayyidina Umar. So he lasted a long time as a judge. And one at the time he was going to buy some dates. The one who was selling him dates, he said, how much do you want? He's trying to sell them. He said, what do you know? I sell dates. After I sell dates, I go home and sleep. He said, you don't know who I am? He said, I don't know who you are. He said, I'm the Qadi, I'm the judge, the supreme judge, attorney general of the state. He said, subhanAllah, this man who's unlettered appears to be, he's selling dates, he never went to schools, he doesn't have much knowledge. He says, you, the judge? He says, you mean you can just say something, write something on someone and you will take him to jail? He said, yes. He said, not only that, I can even say, sentence him to death. He turned around, this date seller, said, Alhamdulillah that Allah created me sell dates. This is a responsibility. Malik ibn, he says, I did this, I said these things to the graves, and I heard something, some voice, some man somewhere deep I didn't see, telling me, تَفَانُوا جَمِيعًا فَمَا. You were asking about these people who was rich and who was powerful and all these things. The answer was تَفَانُوا جَمِيعًا فَمَا مُخْبِرٌ وَمَاتُوا جَمِيعًا وَمَاتَ الْخَبَرُ فَيَا سَائِلِي عَنْ أُنَاسٍ مَضَوْا أَمَا لَكَ فِيمَا مَضَى مُعْتَبَرٌ. تَفَانُوا جَمِيعًا means they all perished. The rich bones perished, just like the poor bones perished. Those who were rich also disintegrated and degenerated. Those who were poor also degenerated. وَمَاتُوا جَمِيعًا, and they all died and passed away. وَمَاتَ الْخَبَرُ, and even their lives died with them. What they did, the stands they took in their lives, the animosities they had with other people, the good, even the things that they have done, everything they have done, it's already forgotten. People have forgotten about them. Even us, people will remember you the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, 1 month, 2 months, 2 years. And then you will be forgotten, just like the millions and millions and millions who passed before us. And they are forgotten and no one knows anything about them. Life rolls like this. It comes and goes. And you will go just like millions before us have gone. We are no exceptions. So he said, they all died. فَمَا مُخْبِرٌ. No one can tell you anything about their stories. No one is here to shed about anything about their lives. That we value every minute is so important and everything, all these things, and we are so articulate about it. No one is here to tell you anything about that. They're totally gone. They're nameless. They're faceless. They're totally insignificant in your life. They're gone. Matter of fact, their bodies have been degenerated with the soil and the sand, that when you step on the sand, you're probably stepping on parts of their bodies that were خفف الوقت ما أظن أديم هذه الأرض إلا من هذه الأجساد. This earth is simply parts of these people who died before us. فَيَا سَائِلِي عَنْ أُنَاسٍ مَضَوْا. Oh, you who's asking me about people who passed away a long time ago. أَمَا لَكَ فِيمَا مَضَى مُعْتَبَرٍ. Don't you learn from their stories? Aren't you learning? Don't you see what happened? وَمَا جَعَلْنَا لِبَشَرٍ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ الْخُلْدِ. No one is lasting. Everyone will taste that departing from the dunya. We mean by the Prophet ﷺ passing away, mean not total elimination. He is alive sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in a different dimension. Different life. عالم البرزخ. But it's this that we all have to taste and all have to go through the same thing over and over again, and you'll see it. And subhanallah, human being is like that. This is how life is. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. Every general meaning of the ayah, everyone will face death. Everybody, this human body was created to die. No matter what you do. وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُرُوجٍ مُشَيَّدَةٍ. Even if you go to the highest of towers and hide, death will follow you. And you will taste it. No doubt. No escape. No exceptions. This body that we worry so much about. This body that we strive to fulfill its desires. And strive to fulfill its needs. You can't. Can you stay 2 days without food? You can't. 2 days without drink? What's going to happen to you? You have all these needs. Other kinds of needs. But subhanAllah, the needs of the ruh and the needs of the qalb and the needs to mention Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not there. We can stay 2 or 3 days without mentioning Allah. Compare. Just compare and contrast. This body that we strive so much to perfect, yet we all know that this body will eventually die, just like everyone else before us. And the ulama mentioned 3 kinds of perfections. There are materialistic perfections that people have, or kamalat kharijiyya, or madiyya. And these perfections, materialistic, such as what? Great house, big car, big land, a lot of money in the bank, nice furniture, nice, all these things. These are what? These are materialistic perfections that human beings attribute themselves with because they think this perfects them. Anyone who knows, anyone who thinks, knows that these things will never be in your hand everlastingly. Today they are in your hand. Today you have a big home. Tomorrow you might not. And not you might not. Tomorrow you will not. You will move from the big home to the small grave. Today you have a lot of money. Tomorrow you won't. Through life even, not even death. Today you have a land. Tomorrow you won't have a land. Tomorrow you have a big car. Tomorrow you won't have it. Today you have a big car. Tomorrow you won't have a big car. Things change. This is what life is all about. Dunya is changing. The only constant thing about dunya is change. It changes. إنما الدنيا عوار والعواري مستردة. شدة بعد رخاء ورخاء بعد شدة. This is how life is. It's everything that you have in life is something that you're borrowing, literally. Awar, and you're borrowing it. والعواري مستردة. Allah will take these things that you borrow away from you eventually. You don't own it. You don't own a penny. If you are a billionaire, the minute that soul comes to almost out, you don't even own a penny of it. Not even a penny. They own it. Whoever you left it for. Whether you accumulated from halal or accumulated from haram, they're not accountable. You are. But they own it. You don't. شدة بعد رخاء. Sometimes people have tough times. After they had good times. Some people, subhanAllah, they were well off, and then all of a sudden they lost everything. And then وَرَخَاءً بَعْدَ شِدَّةٍ. Sometimes, and this will change also. Then they'll also be comfortable after tough times, etc. This is how life goes. So depend on these things. They're gone. Something that you borrow and you have to give back the minute you depart. The second kind of perfections that people attribute themselves with is bodily perfections. Kamalat jasadiyya. For example, tallness, beautiful. They say this man, this person is beautiful. This man is powerful, very strong, very tall, very this, very that. Nice smile. This is also something that only stays a matter of time. As a matter of fact, as you age, this tallness becomes curvy, and then your back curves. And this power becomes weakness, and you become weak. And the beautiful face becomes wrinkled. And the smile becomes gone, barely can smile. All these things are gone while you're actually alive. They don't stay with, these are not really perfections, they're phases that you go through. Ibn Rumi says, وَلِي عَصًا عَنْ طَرِيقِ الذَّمِّ أَمْدَحُهَا بِهَا أُقَدِّمُ عَنْ تَأْخِيرِهَا قَدَمِي كَأَنَّهَا وَهِيَ فِي كَفِّي أَهُشُّ بِهَا عَلَى 80 عَامًا لَا عَلَى غَنَمِي. He's talking about himself. He says, I have a stick. You know how people use a stick to walk, old people? He's worrying about his old days when he was young and all these things. 80 years he lived. He says, look at now, powerful, tall, all these things, strong. He said, I have a asa, I have a stick. I say good things about it, but it's good things, but it's really bad because of the situation I'm in. Because it helps me walk. This is how bad it is. The stick now that I used to break, it helps me walk. كَأَنِّي بِهَا وَهِيَ فِي كَفِّي. As if it is when it's in my hand, I am not guiding my sheeps with it. I'm not throwing on my sheeps. I'm throwing on the 80 years I spent of my life. Just kicking it like that. أَهُشُّ بِهَا عَلَى 80 عَامًا لَا عَلَى غَنَمٍ. 80 years is gone. What happened? It's like a film that goes through your eyes. But what remains is what have you done? Did you take a stand as a man of haqq or as a woman of haqq in that sense? A man here does not refer to gender. A human being is not about how many years you live, dear brothers and sisters. قَدْ تَمُرُّ الْأَعْمَارُ لَا خَيْرَ فِيهَا وَيَضُمُّ الْأَمْجَادِ يَوْمًا قَصِيرٌ. Years can go by. Nothing. There's nothing. لَا خَيْرَ فِي الْأَجْوَارِ. There's nothing, any of use in their lives. They spent it with hatred. They spent it with doing evil. While life is accomplishments. Life is standing on the truth when it hurts. And realizing what the truth is. And going towards the truth. The third kind of perfections is the spiritual and the qalb perfections. كمال قلبية. العلم, الأخلاق, morals. These things, سجايا طيبة, حسنة. These things that you have. The good ethics. The good knowledge. The good akhlaq. These things actually, they do not decrease with age. They increase with age. And furthermore, they do not go away when you die. They stay along with you when you die. They actually protect you when you die. Because when you do something good and when you teach people and when you do all these things, they will always be with you. Subhanallah. These things, notice. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, then, وَمَا جَعَلْنَا لِبَشَرٍ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ الْخُلْدَ أَفَإِنْ مِتَّ فَهُمُ الْخَالِدُونَ. Are they going to stay? كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. They all will die. Which perfections are you going to seek in your life? Make a choice, because the choice now is yours. Tomorrow is not. وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً. Fitna, again, among the meaning of fitna is to test. To test you. نَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests us through our lives. With good and bad. To see how are we going to react. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم. So he can test you. This whole thing is about testing. How are you gonna? Then when the hardship comes, then you know people. They always said, I know. If you say I know this man, he's a good friend. they always ask you, have you been around him with hardship? Throughout hardships. If you say no, they say then you don't know him. You only know people when? When tough things come, not in ease. Because in ease, كل الناس خلاني. Everybody is my friend. When you have a lot of money, a lot of power, everybody's your friend. But when you don't have the money and the power, you have the haqq. That's the question. Will people be with you? Question you should ask yourself. So these throughout life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests us with things, many things, to see whether we are going to thank or we're going to stray away. I'll give you this example. What happened with one of the kings of a man from Bani Abs. Absiyin, the big tribe. One of the king, he saw him. He said, a big man from Bani Abs, old man, he was blind. He said to him, why are you blind? He said, it's an old story and I don't want to tell you because it hurts every time I say it. And I don't want to hurt you. He said, no, you have to tell me. He said, okay. He said, I was a man from Bani Abs, and this big tribe. No man in Bani Abs, the whole tribe has more sons, more offspring than me, more money than me, more sheep and cows and camels than me. Nobody. And he said, I went once with all my family and all my wealth, all these sheep and all these things, to go on because they go to provide this grass for the things that they have, all these things, etc. Fine. Now, he said, what happened is during the night, at night, he said, a storm came in the desert. There's these sandstorms and all these things. A storm came that stayed the whole night. When I woke up, or when the night was over, I looked, all my money, all my kids, my wives, my relatives, everything is gone. All the sheep, all the camels, all the cows. There was only one cow and one little boy left that I heard the crying of. He said, I wanted to run after the camel because if I lose the camel in the desert, I'm dead anyway. You lose a camel in the desert, you're dead. So I went after the camel, so I grabbed him. I heard the boy crying. I looked and I saw him in the mouth of a wolf eating him. So I turned around to catch the camel, and then the camel kicked me with its feet and made me lose my sight. And the camel's gone. I lost my sight. I fell. The camel's gone. He says, SubhanAllah, how did you get here? He said, some people passed by and they picked me up. And here I lost everything. I have nothing. I was the richest. I have nothing now. I lost all my kids, everything I have. And I am even blind. He said, what did you do? He said, I thank Allah every day. I thank Allah every day. Ashkur. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا كما أمر وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له إرغاما لمن جحد به وكفر أشهد أن سيدنا مولانا محمدا صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم خاتم الأنبياء المعتبر صلى اللهم وسلم وبارك على هذا النبي وعلى آله أهل الفقه والنظر والعلم والأثر وعلى من بآثاره مقتفى واعتبر. Life, dear brothers and sisters, is about a stand. It's about a principle. It's about following the haqq even if it's not with you, and avoiding the batil even if it's with you. And that's what the Quran came to emphasize. Speak the truth though against yourself. This is the principle that Islam embodied. And this is why Islam flourished. It's because when we have constructive criticism, first we criticize ourselves constructively, not destructively. Al-Hayat is, there's a philosophy of this life and death. What is the philosophy of life and death? Is it how many years you live? Is it how many homes you acquire? Is it how many cars you have? Is it how many thousands or hundreds of thousands you have in the bank? What is really the meaning of life? What is happiness? And people will go in pursuit of every single thing of these things, these items, only to realize at the end that happiness is only in following the book and the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among those who follow them. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad, ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم بارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين، أعل يا مولانا كلمة الحق والدين. اللهم من أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين خيرا فوفقه إليه، من أراد بهم غير ذلك فاجعل دائرة السوء عليه. اللهم رد المسلمين إلى دينك ردا جميلا. آت أنفسنا تقواها، زكها أنت خير من زكاها، أنت وليها ومولاها. اشف اللهم مرضانا وعاف مبتلانا وفك أسرانا وارحم موتانا. اغفر اللهم لنا ولآبائنا ولمن له حق علينا ولمشايخنا ولمن أوصانا بالدعاء. صلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله. أقم الصلاة.